What's up, guys? All right, how we doing? Hope everybody's day is going well. I'll just mute this because... All right. Well, welcome to the live stream, guys. I appreciate those of you who are here. I'm sure this won't be a mass event or anything, but I appreciate you guys. Gonna have some fun tonight. Please feel free to be active in the comments. We got a game to get through. Compliments of the Whiskey Shamaan. I heard this dude like Malort flavored cheesecake. Austin, no. If you've ever had Malort, it's actually terrible. It's not. And I'll thank you to stay out of our personal affair. Okay, all right. Here, but fix it. Oh, Mr. Shamaan, dude, you're the one who sponsored this live stream. Essentially, you gotta stick around for part of it. Thomas Anderson, what's happening, sir? All right. Yes, everybody hates Malort. It's just trash liqueur. It's garbage. But yeah. So did get a hold of a bottle that was actually recommended from my last live stream. I know it's been a minute, but we're just gonna prime the palate. This is an Andalusia whiskey company. It's an American single malt. I know some of you guys just cringed at the thought of that. But I haven't had any whiskey today, so I'm just going to get a little bit going here. Not even going to really try and taste it, but... Oh. Anybody do anything fun today, or did everybody just go to work? Cracking a new Pingree Blue Label. Very nice, Julian. Which one is that? Yeah, so this is just a Madeira cask finished American single malt out of Texas. I have no idea how old it is, but it should be good. It's a little rough right off the rip, but it's not bad as far as single malts go. I think they kind of get like a bad rap, but I am excited about the blind game for tonight. The Whiskey Shamaan sent over 5 samples, and he said that they were epic, or that it was an epic blind or an epic lineup. So I don't know if he's overselling or underselling. I mean, if there's like 5 Pappy Van Winkles here, I'm probably gonna have a fit, but I mean, never had a Van Winkle before, so would be kind of cool. I do just want to take a second. Holiday Market's last release. Yeah. I got that one as well. Very nice. Just picked up the Ironfish Mad Angler Riverbed Whiskey. Yeah, Ironfish hasn't done anything that's really impressed me a ton. I had some at the Lansing Bourbon Fest earlier this year, and it was okay. I don't know, their single barrels maybe are a little bit better at cask strength, but like 86 proof that's finished in 4 different casks, not great for me. Unicorn for sure. Okay. Prepared Mindset, are you still in here? Throw something charming in the comments if you're still in here. Well, maybe he's not. All right, so got a blind. Oh, he's here. Okay. If you guys aren't subscribing to the Prepared Mindset, he was just nominated for a Gundy. I had to actually look up what that was. I knew approximately what it was, but his podcast was nominated by a lot of viewers and compatriots or whatever in the space for being a prominent podcast in the 2A space. So congrats to him. That's awesome. What we're going to do is we got 5 samples, I guess, if we want to jump right into the game. I don't really have a plan or a game plan for this. I am super curious as to what these might be. What's the Had some Ironfish Mad Angler at the distillery. Tasted good, bought a bottle, tasted much younger. Feels like they baited me. See, that's never a feeling you like to have. It's very epic indeed. Many others said they were more epic, but they were wrong, very wrong. I did not realize that Donald Trump was in our chat. Okay. Yeah, uncorked. I feel bad, dude, because it's never a great feeling when you go to a distillery and you buy like a distillery only bottle or what is tantamount to a distillery's limited release. And then you get it home and you're like, wow, this is incredibly mediocre. And I regret my purchase. I had a little bit of that, like buyer's remorse, with the last batch of Midwinter Nights Dram that I bought, because I remember right up until batch 9 was killer, and then everything before that was excellent, and then batch 10 came out and it was buttocks. It was so bad. And then 11 came out and it was slightly better, like a little bit of a stronger return to form, but not nearly as good as some of the earlier batches were. Once it hit double digits, it kind of just jumped the shark. I did not buy batch 12. I've seen batch 13 is already starting to hit store shelves. I won't be buying one. So, I mean, I don't know if that's your jam or not, but yeah, I'm sorry you wasted your money on that. Anything that Ironfish does, I got to taste first and then retaste. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you and I were on that distillery tour together. You did not hate it. You had a good time. But the one bottle that, yes, we both loved was an extremely limited release. They couldn't sell any. Let's see. Yes, Courtney, Christmas in a Glass was batch 9. That was the last really, really good one before, what was it, Constellation Brands got in there and they ruined the blend with a bunch of youthy whiskey and terrible finishes. This is actually pretty good, though. If you guys are looking for a reputable American single malt to kind of dip your toe in. Nope, hated it, too hot. Distilleries are not air conditioned, dude. Tried to support Michigan distilleries. Felt like the store sample was much older. You know, I have heard of distilleries doing that where they'll send out like the cherry barrel to be like the sample, and it kind of hooks everybody in. And then the ones that they actually put out are not as good, which is, I think the bait and switch is kind of a shitty thing to do, but that's me. Okay, let's get. So, got a fresh Glen, and I'm just going to choose one of these samples at random. I don't think there's. Is that the number on the tape? Okay, so there's no numbers on this. So, the way that Mr. Shamaan likes to do this, right? Got our sample here, and there's some painter's tape over it. There is a label underneath this that is going to tell me what it is that I'm drinking. But we're going to call this number 1. Let's throw a 1 on there. And I'm going to try and guess, you know, age, proof, and type. Past that, if I can deadhead a bottle, I'll be shocked, because he's saying unicorn. I have not had too terribly many unicorn bottles. I own a few that, you know, some people would probably love, but like if you're talking stuff like, you know, super old Fitz's or Pappy's, the B-Tac lineup, any like pre-fire Heaven Hill, any of the like the old Elijah Craig, like 21, 23 years. Like I just don't have access to that kind of stuff, right? So the cool bottles I have are like attainable cool bottles, or they're like your whiskey nerds cool bottles, like just unique fun things. So we're gonna get into this first one. And okay. Distracting children, learning to fight. See you. Yeah, have fun at karate. That'll be good. Love you. All right. So get this. My God. Okay, do you glue these on? Like, I'm legitimately curious. There we go. These things are always so well on there. Okay, so I'm going to put like half of each sample into these glasses, because if this is as truly good as he says it is, I want to make sure that I'm having a little bit left over to savor. But we'll go ahead and coat that glass. All good. Swirl, swirl, swirl around. All right. I can't tell if that's a rye or not. Hang on. Before we go any further, I'm just gonna, I know I've been drinking single malt, so we're gonna clear the palate. And if you guys don't do this type of stuff at home, maybe think about doing like a blind tasting. It's a great way to train your palate if that's something you're interested in. Like anything else, it just takes practice. Okay, I don't know. That smells suspiciously familiar, but I have no idea what it is. Like there's like a heavy molasses and brown sugar kind of note, and I feel like I just drank something like this. But there's barrel char, that molasses, a little bit of a brown sugar. But it smells potent. Like I don't know if that's just the nose or if it's hot, like it's a high proof or something. I don't know. It's pretty dark though. Maybe it's, maybe this is some old turkey. If this is old, like late 90s turkey, that would be, but I feel like turkey always has like more of a cherry cordial kind of vibe going on. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody have any guesses just based off of the nosing notes I'm throwing out there? Ooh. All right. That was a little hot. That's a little bit hot, but I don't know. We're going for another sip. It's definitely a bourbon. I'm going to write that down. It's definitely a bourbon. There is no rye coming through there at all. The complexity is already there. So I can tell this is going to be something a little bit older, like definitely 7-8 years plus. I have a Smoke Eye Hill cask strength rye coming this weekend. Actually, I just got a sample bottle from them of the Smoke Eye rye. So I'll be having a review coming out of that sooner than later. But that's just okay. So that's drinking hot for me. Like but I know my sinuses have been kind of beating me up. I want to say that's like 135, 138 proof. Like, I don't want to say that it's over 140 because I'm really not a great judge of. I've only had a handful of hazmats, like 2 or 3, and I think one of those was an American single malt. It's just it's drinking hot, and I'm not getting like a cinnamon hot. It feels like a proofy hot, but I'm gonna hedge a little bit. I'm gonna say 135 proof because I got a feeling this is going to end up being like some like obscure, like Elijah Craig pick that's like 14 years old or something like that. That's just obscene. That is, okay. Super, don't blame, it's not an excuse, it's a reason. Don't blame the sinuses. Anybody from Michigan, so Prepared Mindset, Thomas Anderson, anybody who's in Michigan knows that Mother Nature damn near shit her pantsuit this past week. Rise above. Yeah, I got something you can rise above, dude. All right. I mean, this is really good. But there's like a little bit of stone fruit. That brown sugar's coming back through. Toasted oak char. It's really, this is almost like a perfect quintessential bourbon, but I don't know what the hell that would be. Yeah, see, the sinuses are a thing. The pecan leaves are falling for sure. I've never heard that one, but I mean, I agree with you. Okay, so this is very reminiscent. Okay, I just had a thought that occurred to me. If you're messing with me, if this is like you just took every bottom shelf bottle you own that's like $20 and under and sent me a flight of these, like if I'm saying all these great things and it's like benchmark foolproof, you will be dead to me. I want to say this almost smells like a Stag Junior, but it's hotter, which makes me think that it's maybe not as old, that maybe it is that benchmark foolproof. These tasting notes are awful. I've seen better pallets on a Kmart stockyard. You know, you're a horrible person. Why can you ever say anything nice to me? Like ever? Oh, you don't own bottom shelf bottles. Okay, you're just above that sort of thing. All right, well then, all right, I'm gonna say early batch Stag Junior. So I'm just gonna put Stag Junior because that's kind of, I have a batch 14, but I only have one bottle of Stag Junior. So it's difficult. There's definitely like a Buffalo Trace kind of vibe to this, but there's so many other products that I haven't had that are higher proof. I'm going to say like early batch Stag Junior is kind of what this, because that like heavy molasses note is something I get on Stag Junior. There's almost like a little cola vibe here too that I normally get on like Eagle Rare. So that kind of lines up with a Buffalo Trace bottle. Oh my God. Those would be 80 proof water. Now he's going conspiracy mode. Everyone tell him he's drinking bottom shelf. Oh my God. Okay. This is why I don't do more live streams. The mental abuse it's a lot to deal with. Cask Strength Traveler? Is that a thing? I don't even know if Cask Strength Traveler is a thing. That was damn good though. I mean, if it is, all right, if that is Cask Strength Traveler, I will be at the Kroger the day that those bottles drop, and I will be buying like 3 of them because that was not a bad whiskey. That was actually a really good whiskey. Just, I mean, just for my part, I don't know. I may have a trash palate. Who knows? Okay. Second one up. We're going to call this number 2. All right, number 2. Okay, so this one. Okay, this is going to be like a light whiskey or something. I'm thinking this is kind of light. I heard it's going to be available soon. I mean, hey, if it's available, I'll try the cask strength version. I've actually heard that the shelf version isn't terrible. It's just not what everybody expects because everybody expects a Buffalo Trace product to change their life to be just like this opinion-altering, life-altering thing. And not every bottle from their distillery is going to do that. Like, that's not sustainable. He said number 2? Twice. What? This is number 2. What are you getting? Is this like a poop joke or something? Okay, this one's much easier to get into, so. Okay. Do sell cask strength. Regular wasn't horrible. I've had worse. Yeah, exactly. See, people have had worse. Okay, this has got like a caramel apple vibe to it. I don't know if this is this does not smell like a rye. This smells like a bourbon. Yeah, just pure caramel apple and like dry wood. It's pretty viscous too. Okay. Nope. Ooh. I want to say that is a rye now. After tasting it, that's a rye. That is a rye, but there's something weird about this. This I could actually see being like a cask strength Travelers. Like a light fruit note to it. Something almost kind of tropical about it. This is number 3. No, this is number 2. This is bottle number 2. Pocket check. What blade you got? I don't have a blade on me right now, but the one I had upstairs was the Spyderco that you got me for standing up in your wedding. I mean, I'm in the basement. There's like a box cutter like 6 feet that way, but I don't, yeah. I don't have as many knives as you. I'm working on it, but I don't. Yes, it would be cooler if I did. This one's a little bit lower proof, but it's still kind of hot. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 120. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to bitch out. I'm not going to try and get too specific. I wanted to say 114, but I think it's a little hotter. I'm going to say 120 proof. Bottle guess. I have no clue on this. I really don't. This one is completely elusive. Oh, if I bring 3 bottles to Thanksgiving, what's on tap? That is an excellent question, especially with it coming up. My sinus reflux is fine. Leave it alone. I would put 3 bottles. So first one to Thanksgiving, because my brothers are not all horrible whiskey hounds. So I feel like I can bring something good and it's not going to go to waste. So I would probably bring... I'd probably crack open this Mayor Pingree Blue Label, this 10-year. This is the PX Sherry Cask finish from last year. That'd be bottle number 1. Bottle number 2, I'd probably get a rye, maybe an Old Pepper single barrel, one of those. And then the third one would be something a little bit lighter, something I could have my dad drink if he wanted to indulge. I would be thinking maybe like a, I don't know, IW Harper 15-year. Something classy because it's the holidays. You know, I don't want to overthink it. It's actually Old Granddad. God, no. No Old Granddad. He won't be bringing... It's Thanksgiving. He'll be taking leftovers. All right, you know what, dude? I didn't take any leftovers last year from Mom and Dad's. I went home empty-handed. Vodka. Dr. Fazzo, say you're sorry. Say you're sorry. I'm watching the comments now. Say you're sorry. Guys, friends don't let friends drink vodka. Okay? It is a lifeless, flavorless spirit. Peated Scotch, Stranahan's, and Driftless Glen Rye. Like peated Scotch, have never tried a Stranahan's, and I've heard really good things about Driftless Glen. Bring number 3. I'm on number 2. Why is everybody talking about number 3? I'm on the second sample. Oh, number 3. You're talking about the 15-year IW Harper bottle. Okay. Yeah, I could probably do that. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea. I want to say that this was a light whiskey, but it didn't taste caramely enough. I get a lot of caramel on a light whiskey. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's a rye. I wrote down rye, but now I'm thinking light whiskey. I'm not even going to guess a bottle on this one. I'm just going to stick with rye at 120 proof. And when I'm wrong, you guys can roast me in the comments. That's fine. I mean, it's already going on anyways, so. Okay. Still on the fence about what I'm cracking open on Thanksgiving. Okay, well, I mean, it's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday, so especially if you're going to be hanging out with... I'll roast you in person. I know that you will. Yeah. Yep, you're never shy about roasting me in person. But I know it comes from a place of love, so it doesn't bother me. Still on the fence about cracking on Thanksgiving. Honestly, I feel like Thanksgiving, if you're with family, if you're with friends, you should be drinking something, good. Something really good. As long as you know that, like, they're not a bunch of booze hounds that are just going to sit there and slam your expensive booze. Probably Bomburgers for start. Bomburgers is a great pour to kick off with. I think Bomburgers gets a lot of hype that it probably shouldn't, but that's me. I don't love Michter's stuff the way a lot of people do. I think their Michter's ryes are really, really good, but I've also had some Old Pepper single barrels that are like half the age that I think actually taste better. And I know that's a wild claim and you guys are probably going to lose your minds, but that's, a $60 single barrel is going to be better than maybe the toasted rye that you're going to pay $140 for, or the Michter's 10-year rye that you're going to pay like $250 for. But that's my opinion. I have a slightly more unique palate. Don't care for Michter's. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either. Bringing Sagamore rye for Manhattans. You know what? The regular small batch Sagamore is great. I have not had the cask strength shelf version of Sagamore, but My fiance loves Sagamore, her favorite distillery. We haven't been out to visit it yet, but it's on the to-do list. Come on. That is number 3. Okay, so moving on to our third sample here. If you guys ever send samples, this is the proper way to do it with, copious amounts of electrical tape so that the cap can't back itself off. That's the smart way to do this. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Leo. Unfortunately, I'm the only one that's into bourbon in the fam, so nobody knows any better. Yeah, I mean, if nobody knows any better, bring something fun, but don't bring something expensive would be my advice. You still want to have a good time. You just don't want to, you don't want to throw away, a great bottle. All right, so that's number 3. So, a little bit darker color here. All these have been, super viscous, so I'm inclined to believe this really is, a unicorn type, flight or blind, right? Okay, this smells like a bourbon right off the rip. Dark cherry. This might actually, just off the nose, this might actually be a Wild Turkey product. Kentucky Spirit is a great bottle, and for the money, I mean, Kentucky Spirit is essentially what? It's a Wild Turkey 101 single barrel. And if you can find... Is there a peanut funk on this, or is that just me? I wouldn't lie to you. All right, I'll take your word for it. I don't know. This definitely smells like a bourbon. It's got a slight cherry note to it that is making me think Wild Turkey. Because that's the first place my mind goes when you get that cherry cordial or chocolate covered cherry. Wild Turkey has always given me that note. Now, synthetic cherry I've gotten on a bunch of, different spirits. That medicinal cherry that nobody really likes, but they tolerate. That's kind of all over the place. But a true cherry it's usually an indicator of Wild Turkey. Okay, that's a bourbon. That is maybe a high rye bourbon because there's some rye spice to that, but that is unmistakably a bourbon. That is proofy. I'm going to say right around 130 proof. That is... Actually, 130 might even be on the high end, but I already wrote it down. Not changing. Caramel, or would I? Dude. Oh, man. Can you guys see the legs on the glass? I'm trying to check it out over here. Yeah. Might be time to switch Glens in a second. This one's getting a little dirty. Let's see. No, I don't know why it's reacting that way. It's not, I mean, it took this right out of the dishwasher yesterday. Pursuit of Selection, welcome. Glad to have you here. Okay, this is drying. Tannic wood. I've never tasted anything like this. There's it's almost like a bland, bitter apple kind of thing going on with wood tannins. Just a dash of vanilla, but there's not a lot. There's some heat, but there's not a lot going on the palate on this one, which is weird because at first sip, this felt like it was older. I was going to guess this is a 12-year-old bottle or something. I'll throw that down. 12 years. I don't know. A little bit of like a sour wood. Like the stuff we spray on the furniture so the dogs don't chew on it. So yes, but like water that down a lot. Yeah, that's kind of, yep. That's for whatever reason, like I am not vibing with this one at all. So if this is like some like next level impossible to find type stuff and I just don't like it, this probably just saved me money. But now I'm getting like it's drying on the sip, but now like the side palates, like I'm getting like this weird salivating sensation. That one was okay. It was not my favorite. I don't know what's going on with that one. Oh, so what we're doing tonight, the Whiskey Shamaan was generous enough. We got a 5 sample blind. So I am tasting through. We just completed number 3. Tasting through each one of them. I'm guessing the type, the proof, and then it's supposed to be the age, but trying to headshot bottles if I can. Let me grab another glass here. Okay. Let's go with number 4. All right. Are you hitting up any stores on Black Friday? Like liquor stores or just like stores? Like, am I doing shopping or am I doing shopping? Like it's an important distinction to make. I'll probably definitely be doing some online shopping on Black Friday. Ooh, so depending on what my fiance wants to do, I might be hitting a liquor store. I think Ben Steen's is doing, I think they're releasing like their 13th Colony single barrel select or single barrel pick. But Ben Steen's is also a little bit of a hike. So if I can find somebody that wants to roll with me, I might go out there. But otherwise, I might just sleep in, enjoy some coffee, hang out. Okay, this is a little bit of honey and wood. Get a fresh pair of Vans. I do need a pair of Vans. I know I'm like 36, but a nice pair of high top Vans just sounds like the move right now. Oh, Piccolo's is doing an event? Well, that's a hell of a lot closer than Ben Steen's. Okay. Yeah, Ben Steen's and TJ's, they're like almost an hour away from me. It's crazy. Commerce is not exactly close. So I'm in like St. Clair Shores. So I'm about 25-ish miles northeast of Detroit. But yeah, they're a little bit of a ways down the freeway. We have very different ideas of Black Friday shopping. Gotta hit it for love of the game. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I do enjoy going to the mall on Black Friday because you can get some good deals, but I don't really know what I would need. Okay, so this is a lot lighter in character. A little bit of honey, GFC and bourbon. Gotta bring wild turkey to Thanksgiving. No, how about the 70th? Jack Toasted Barrel and Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. So, okay, wild turkey, that's fair. Rare breed is pretty cheap. I could bring one of those. The 70th bottle I have is about halfway gone, and I feel like it would be tacky to show up with a halfway empty bottle of turkey. Maybe just one of the 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101s, see if people are into that. But like, you know, two of my brothers drink whiskey. My dad is not much of a whiskey drinker, and I don't want to see my mom drink whiskey. I think that'd just be a bad time in general. Things for me. Yes, things for you. We could go shopping for you. That would be cool. We could probably do that. Some SoCo and some Pedialyte. Yeah, dude. The pedophile. Isn't that what that's called? Yeah. The mixed cocktail called the pedophile. It's SoCo and Pedialyte. All right, we're just going to try this one because the nose on this is so subtle. I'm getting a slight bit of like a white tea kind of note. Some honey. Oh. Okay. Ripe apple. Almost like an apple juicy kind of note, but there's caramel, a little bit of butterscotch, powdered sugar. I don't understand where I'm getting powdered sugar from on that because it's very sweet, but it's almost like if you took a green apple wedge and you dipped it in some caramel and then dusted it with like some powdered sugar. That is almost what this tastes like. I'm actually very, very much into this one. Okay, so this is definitely a bourbon, but this is lighter proof. I'm going to say 112 proof. And I'm going to say there's a nuance to this. There's a fair amount of complexity, but I don't think it's ultra aged. So I'm going to guess, oh man, I really don't want to get to the end of this and just be completely whiffing on all of it. It's so uncorked, I thought about that. Maybe it's weeded. Weeded bourbons have a very specific taste for me that I'm not getting on this. I don't really love a lot of weeded bourbons. Like, I like really good weeded bourbon, but I don't love weeded bourbon in general. Wheat whiskeys are cool, but I mean, it's specific. I don't even want to read that. Lightly dusted with Aquanet and a smattering of red chili flakes. If this is the stuff that you actually taste when you're drinking whiskey, I'm not actually surprised that you don't drink more. Yeah, I've got the yips. That could be it. I was thinking either 8 or 10 years old. I'm going to split the difference and say 9 years. 9 years. And hopefully you guys will give me like a little bit of leeway when it actually comes around to that. It could be a rye. This would be a very, very subtle rye. I mean, you would know better than I would what's in here. Yeah, performance anxiety. That's a thing too. Yeah, I definitely have that. It could be like a 51% rye. Oh, maybe like an old MGP, like an old 51% MGP rye. Does MGP do 51% rye? I already wrote it down, so I can't go back now. Them's the rules. So we were guessing bourbon, 112 proof, 9 years old. Yeah, okay. GFC and bourbon, don't feed into him because it's just going to fuel his hate fire. They do say go with your first gut feeling when taking tests. I mean, that's true enough. I don't know what order you're drinking from. You're drinking from one package. Okay, that's valid. Okay. So this is our last sample. So this is going to be number 5. Okay. Can't argue with the science. No, I can't. What bottles are you hunting for this allocation season? So I have yet to come across a Penelope Omega. I have heard really, really good things about Penelope Omega, and I desperately want one. That is high on my list. The Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Rye. Looking for that one. But past that, I don't really know if there's a ton that I'm on the hunt for this season. I don't want like the typical tater bait type stuff. Like if I did see like a Blanton straight from the barrel, probably would go straight for that at retail. I'd like to get, if the Redemption 18 year wasn't so damn expensive, I'd probably go for that. I've had a couple opportunities to buy the Calumet 18. I can't spend $500 on a bottle. That's just not, that's not me. Um, I don't know. There's not a lot about like this year's allocation season that's really got me excited. This was kind of the year for the budget pours. You know, you had the old Fitz 7-year that came out. You had the old Granddad 7 that came out. A lot of like cheaper bottles were coming out that are kind of exciting. So that's cool. I would like to try and get a 13th Colony Double Oaked this year, but I'll settle for the maple finish. I know that release recently came out. People on CNN told me so. Yeah, you should definitely listen to what people put on CNN. They won't let you put it on TV if it's not true. I should have numbered them. No sweat, man. It's all good. I appreciate you sending the flight. This is actually a lot of fun for me, and it seems like at least a few people are having fun in the chat, so that's awesome. Guys, if you're in the chat right now, if you wouldn't mind, please smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button as well. Sorry, missed the 80s. Dude, you and me both, man. I was born in 89, so I didn't get to experience the 80s for very long. But I've been told by a lot of people that I was born like 20 years too late. By more than one person, I've been told that, actually. Maple finishes on Sealbach. So Sealbachs actually cannot ship to Michigan anymore because our super awesome liquor laws make it near impossible to order whiskey online. It's incredibly difficult because one day I was able to, the next day I wasn't. It was such a bummer. And now Bourbon Outfitter is really the only one that can ship to us, and I don't think they have it. Old Overholt 12 is definitely on my list and going to order one tonight online. So yeah, we were in Pennsylvania for a training class, the Prepared Mindset, and we were there with some friends. We did actually it was a CQB training course. If you guys know what CQB is, you kind of know what the gist of that is. But there was like 6 or 8 of us. It was a really good time. But we're in Pennsylvania, and being from Michigan, it's like a 6.5 hour drive. So I'm like, hey, let me stop at like a liquor store. I just want to look at one liquor store. And I was incredibly whelmed by what they had on the shelves. Like nothing there was cool. They did have a Knob Creek 21, which I'm told was really, really good. The problem is I absolutely hate Knob Creek. Anything other than the 12, I do not like. The rye, I bought a liter of it because it was on closeout for like $12, and it's basically like a cocktail mixing rye for me. The 9-year-old Knob Creek, I've had that bottle for like 5 years, and it's not even halfway gone. I just do not enjoy a lot of Beam products. Old Overholt 12, though, the ryes, I've had Overholt ryes. Those are good. That, what is it, the Monongahela or whatever? I've got it down here somewhere. That one was pretty okay, too. So the ryes from Beam, I'm okay with. But their Knob Creek bourbons, I'm not a fan of. Old Granddad 7-year, I thought was not great. Old Granddad 114 is fine. But like the Jim Beam Choice, I've got probably 3 or 4 bottles of the discontinued Jim Beam Choice, and it is not my jam at all. Let's see, Uncorked. More praise for the 17-year Calumet than the 18, especially for the price. Okay. I had liked this, but since you're trying to tell me how to live my life, dislike. That's fine. Whatever you're feeling. You know, I want you to feel your feelings. Okay. Hey, Canadian Chris. How's it going, man? Glad to have you here. Let's see. Okay. Cheers, eh? All right, so this is sample number 5. So, okay, this is fruity. This definitely strikes me as a bourbon right off the nose. Who let the Canuck in here? Hey, we don't discriminate. There are actually a lot of Canadian whiskeys that are like decent. There are a lot of Canadian whiskeys that are butt cheeks, but there's a lot of really good Canadian whiskeys out there. JP Weiser's, I know Prepared Mindset said that he hated when we went there for the tour. He actually enjoyed himself. He just hates happiness, so it's a little bit of a conflict of interest. But Canadian whiskeys are getting better. It's not all like just rot gut Canadian Club or any of that stuff. They just make whiskey a little bit different. You got your base whiskey and then your flavoring whiskey. The base whiskey is like paint thinner. Hated the tour, loved the tasting. Okay, that's fair. I will take that. The tour, we had to walk up like 8 flights of stairs, which was not cool. It was incredibly hot. I did get to dip the little container in the mash and pull that out and everything. We got a picture. It was the whole dopey experience. That was cool. And the tasting was fun. But yeah, it was like, was it black maple finished, like wood finish or walnut finished, like something, I don't know. But they had like a third of a bottle left, none for sale. Couldn't tell us where to get any. It was so tantalizing that we just couldn't get a bottle of it. It's bullshit. But the Lot 40 ryes are tops, and their special releases are definitely something to keep an eye out for. Black walnut finish. Yeah, it was really, really good. Really good. All right. So this is red fruity, and the nose is bright. And okay. That is weeded. If that is a William LaRue Weller, that tastes like WLW. And I've only had it a couple of times. Both times were with Luciano, who's a friend of the channel. If this is WLW, this has like this weird, I get almost like a French vanilla, like a silky kind of vibe out of this. I get like a fuzzy sensation on my tongue, but it's rich brown sugar notes. A little bit of raspberry there. Light red fruits. Dude, okay, bourbon. I have no idea what the proof is on this, but it does not feel like a ton. I'm going to say 120 proof. I think I already did that. Yeah, I did that on the number 2, but this seems like around 120 proof-ish. But it's very soft. It's very gentle. We have to try it because it was our birthday. We did. We have a whiskey blending class December 6th. Okay. That actually seems like fun, but I feel like we definitely have something going on December 6th, which sucks. Isn't a fuzzy tongue a symptom of mad cow disease? Dude, I have no idea. I don't know. With WLW, you say. Dude. Okay, I don't know how old that is. And I don't know shit about shit when it comes to the BTAC lineup because they're unobtainium. Let's check to be sure. Say moo for us. Bite me. Yeah, I'm not saying moo on a live stream. And then put it out on the internet? I'll never live that down. What's your favorite release from Ironfish Distillery? Probably, there was a store pick from Harper Liquorland a couple of years ago that was a maple syrup cask finish. I liked that one fine enough. I think it was like 112 or 114 proof, something like that. Their shelf bottles do nothing for me. They're too light. They're too thin. I wish that there was something a little bit more complex from them when I went to the Bourbon Fest in Lansing because they had a stand there, and it was decent, but it was the shelf stuff is just, it's too light. It comes across as thin. It almost feels like you're getting conned a little bit, you know? Do I need to try this? Us Texas boys don't know this. Okay. I would say if you're going to try Ironfish, first I need you to try American Fifth out of Lansing here in Michigan. American Fifth is one of my absolute favorite distilleries that does not get any of the love that it deserves. Their bourbon is like now getting out to like 6 and 7 years old. Their cask strength stuff is really good. They do a ton of American single malts. I actually just sent the Whiskey Shamaan here. I think it was like half a dozen samples, but they've got a bunch of American single malts, cask strength wheat whiskey, rye whiskeys. I mean, just all kinds of super cool stuff. If you guys are ever in Lansing, that tasting room is definitely one to check out. Okay. Yeah, I gotta believe that was a Weller. That tasted like a Weller product. If that's not a WLW, that's got to be the best bottle of full-proof Weller I have ever had in my life. I feel like that drank hotter. No, don't. the iron. I don't, Thomas Anderson. I don't know what your what the how to read the emojis. Don't fish. Don't go to Iron Fish. Don't do Iron Fish. I don't know. Iron Fish 4 cask is pretty good. So the 4 cask finish is pretty cool. I mean, I know it's got like a maple syrup, a cognac, and 2 other finishes that are, you know, decent. I need the proof to come up a little bit. Like, I'm not saying it needs to be 120 proof, but like mid 80s is killing me. Get me into the mid 90s and I'm a buyer. I'm in the conversation in the mid 90s. I think you need to have something with a little bit more substance there because you want to enjoy that drinking experience. If it feels like you're drinking a shot of whiskey that was watered down with every mouthful, that just, for me, I'm not enjoying that. I want something that's gonna, you know, it's gonna coat your mouth well, it's gonna coat your tongue well. You know, your entire palate's gonna get involved in the tasting experience. Is it good? Yes. Is it great? Not yet. I think they're a couple of years off. I would rather take something from either like Valentine's, like one of these Mayor Pingrees, one of these American Fifths, Red Cedar. Red Cedar puts out some really cool stuff. I would take, you know, a cask strength one of these. Anything from New Holland. New Holland is putting out some awesome stuff. The Walleye Run, coat your tongue, coat your mouth, just paint the whole thing with flavor. Yes, well said. Paints your entire mouth with flavor. Yep. No Iron Fish products for me after Mad Angler fiasco. Yeah, no, I get it. You're probably a little bit gun shy, and I would be too. I've bought my fair share of regrettable bottles over the years. There is what is that? Jep the Creed. There's a Jep the Creed bottle that I'm staring at right now, and obviously you guys can't see it because it's on the other side of the camera. Iron Fish 4 cask is coming out with a cask strength. Tim Garcia, welcome, sir. Glad you're here. So the Mad Angler fiasco. So Tom Anderson put in the comments earlier, he bought one and it just comes across as like youthy and kind of flavorless or muted. Not a great barrel. That's all. That was just he had a personal issue with, the bottle he got was not very good. I also don't prescribe to the Iron Fish stuff just because I've not had one that has really done anything for me. I've been to multiple whiskey festivals where I've tried it now and it's fine, but if there was literally anything else to drink, I'm probably going to drink that over the Iron Fish. And I'm not trying to drag them or anything like that. It's just at their shelf proof point, which is what seems to be at all those festivals, right? You got the 86 proofer. I think it's 86 proof, might be 88 proof, I don't know, but it's low proof. The shelf bottles. The shelf bottles are always the ones that are at the festivals, and none of them ever impress me. They always leave me wanting more and slightly irritated afterwards because I found something in the profile that I liked, something that I wanted more of, and just couldn't get to because they added water and kind of washed it all out. So, all right. So we're coming up on the hour. We're not going to end the live stream at an hour. Don't worry, guys. More fun to be had. And I love the comment section going wild. That's awesome. I appreciate it. So we're just going to go through one by one and we're going to unmask these samples and kind of see what they are. So the first one, I guessed it was a bourbon at 135 proof and it was a Stag Junior. Let's see. Let me get this tape off of here and we'll see what this is. Okay, so this is a Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, 143.8 proof. So, okay, I was actually almost 10 proof points low. I was a little gun shy on that first one. Wow, okay. I have a bottle of Coy Hill, but it's the second iteration. It is not the hazmat version. Wow, thank you very much. This is awesome. These releases are getting harder and harder to come by, but the hazmat ones I've been told are truly exceptional, and I would agree with that. It was really, really good. So, okay, check mark for bourbon because I don't care who you are. Tennessee whiskey is bourbon. Okay, that separate subcategory of Tennessee whiskey was created for marketing purposes and to make people in Tennessee who were butthurt about the Civil War feel better. 135 proof, missed on that because I was more than 5 proof points off, and obviously did not headshot the bottle with the Stag Junior guess. So we're going to move on to number 2. You said you wanted to try it, so there you go. Thank you. No, I appreciate that, man. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for sending the samples and for being a friend of the channel. I did get your samples out, so when you have those, like, please let me know. Okay, this is embarrassing. Number 2 that I said was a rye. This was a George T. Stag from 2024, 136 proof. So I got none of this right. There was something about this that I thought was spicy enough that it would be a rye. That's hyper annoying. That is hyper annoying to me. 136 proof. I guessed 120. So in my defense, this does not drink anywhere near as hot as 136. So, okay, no. I used to be good at this. I promise I used to be decent at this. No, label's coming off. Shoot. Ugh. Label's coming off with your painter's tape, man. I'm going to try and save it. Oh. Okay. Number 3, Wild Turkey Master's Keep Beacon. Is this the one that I said had like a cherry note to it? I don't remember. Thanks, Sloan. That's a 12-year at least. Okay. All right, so Wild Turkey Beacon. So that's a bourbon. You get a point for that. 118 proof, so I don't get points for proof. I don't know how old the Beacon is. I said 12 years on the Wild Turkey Beacon. And I want to say it's close to that age. I do. I want to say it's close. And if I'm remembering correctly, with the third sample, I had called out that there was like a cherry note here. So I feel like I get at least a little bit of credit for calling that out. I've heard great things about the Beacon release. It is supposed to be a heavy contender for Bottle of the Year. This is my second time around trying this. Another viewer sent in some samples for me to try, and the Beacon was one of them. Okay, blend of 8 and 14 years. So, okay, I feel like 12 years is not out of the realm of possibility. There's definitely some complexity there, so give myself a check mark for that, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't win anything, so why not? But that's awesome. Thank you very much. This might be the last Master's Keep release. I'm sure Wild Turkey will come out with something else, but there has been a lot of publicity and attention around the fact that this might be the last Master's Keep release that they're putting out. So, all right, number 4. Oh my God. I was just all over the place on this one. So this is a Thomas H. Handy. So, okay, BTAC, 2024, 127 proof. This did not drink like 127 proof. I thought this may have been like a light whiskey or something. Huh. So I said bourbon. It is a bourbon, right? Thomas H. Handy. That's a bourbon, right? That's not a rye. Is it? You guys will let me know in the comments if it's a rye. I don't read up on the BTAC stuff because I don't have any chance of getting it ever. But I said 112 proof. It is 127.2 proof. So okay, so it's a rye. Okay, I said 9 years. It's 6 years. Okay, so 6-year rye. Yeah, just. Wow, dude, this blind is beating my butt. This is crazy. I need to start drinking more high-end whiskey because I'm having a hell of a time identifying this stuff. Problem is, high-end whiskey is like ultra expensive. So, but I can say that I've tried it now at least. Which brings us to number 5. So I I attempted to headshot number 5, and the way things are going, this is going to be like, I don't know, this is going to be like a 1792 something or other. Ooh, okay. So it is a William LaRue Weller. This is the 2023. Way off on the proof, though. I guessed 120, 134.5. So, okay, I got bourbon and the headshot. So I did okay, I guess. I did okay. I'm not used to drinking that caliber of a whiskey. I mean, usually I'm drinking good stuff, but that's like otherworldly good. That is like upper echelon. That really is a unicorn blind. Thank you very, very much for sending that out to me. I appreciate you, sir. Let's see. Yeah, 6-year rye. I thought Beacon is a blend of 10 and 16. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was supposed to be some like crazy high aged turkey, so I don't know. Yeah, but okay. So the blind didn't go as planned, which is fine. I'm not going to blame it completely on my sinuses and the weather changing and the fact that it's just been like a dog shit week altogether. But I'm going to say it has played a little bit of a part in it. So, you know, whatever. It's on my wish list for this allocation season. How good is it? It's good. It is really good. I would definitely recommend. Let's see. All right. I've been meaning to revisit this bottle since I got it like 2 years ago. So unfortunately, this is an 80 proofer. But this is from Red Cedar Spirits. I think, Tom Anderson, you probably live close to here. But this is a 10-year-old bottle, and they only sold it in 375s. It did not get a full bottle release. But this is a 10-year-old popcorn bourbon from Red Cedar Spirits. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but one of the best turkeys I've had. Rivals, the 13, maybe the 15. So I'm going to go ahead and say the 15-year is one of the top 3 whiskeys I've ever had in my life, period. We were at the Wild Turkey Distillery last summer, so summer of 24. Got to meet Jimmy Russell. He signed a single barrel bottle for me. They did not have any Russell's 15 available. It was a bummer, but I didn't really expect him to have it anyways. But it cost me $50, but I did get a pour of it with a souvenir glass. I didn't feel that bad. And it was life-altering. Absolute life-altering. I really, really loved that bottle. If I ever found one for a halfway reasonable price, I would pull the trigger. Yeah, I don't know. Something about popcorn bourbon doesn't quite do it for me. Like this has like a buttery, like a brown butter characteristic to it. It's very corny. It's fine for sipping on and hanging out with you guys. What are some of your favorite bottles from Journeyman Distillery? Okay, so admittedly, I have not had a ton of experience with Journeyman. I will say when I was at the Detroit Bourbon Festival, God, probably a month ago now, there was one. I think it was a Silver Cross release, and it was 8 or 9 year high rye bourbon. That was really, really good. I enjoyed that immensely. I've had a cask strength version of I think it's Corsets, Whips, and Whiskeys. Or Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey. Yeah, that one. That was really good, too. I have tried was it the Buggy Wheat or something? Or the wheated one or wheat whiskey they have. It's okay. Is it my favorite thing? It is not. But it's, Journeyman is getting better as their stuff is getting a little bit older. It's maturing. I know age is not everything. I've got a couple of 2-year-old bottles from DCD. Let's see. Yeah, this homegrown rye. It's a batch 33, 94 proof, but it's good. It's 2 years old, but it's good. It's not everything. Now, is a 10-year-old whiskey going to beat a 2-year-old whiskey? Most of the time, yeah. Age isn't the only thing that matters, but it's a very relevant factor. I will say that much. Let's see. I did get the Outlander from Red Cedar Spirits, and it's definitely different and interesting. Yes, the Outlander, I got that single barrel pick from, it's a Brotherhood of the Barrel pick from the Wine Garden, and it is one of the most delicious, most unique whiskeys I have here in the Speakeasy, and I dig it. It's great. If I could get another one of these, a single barrel, I would do it. If we end up hitting Lansing anytime in the near future, I think the tasting room has these 5-year-old cask strengths of the Outlander, and I'll buy another one, because this, and the great thing about them is they put all their information on the side. The one I have is 5 years, 7 months. Let's see. So the date bottled was 2021. So this thing has been in the bottle for over 4 years now, which is, I mean, I'm at this point, they've already barreled and aged almost an entire other batch of this stuff. And I can't wait to get more of it. I think it's a shame that more stores aren't doing picks like this. Found a store that has for $2.75. May need to put on my Secret Santa list. Was it the Beacon that you found for $2.75? If it's the Beacon for $2.75, I would think about that. That's a heck of a bottle. Would definitely give that a second look. Let's see. Corsets, Whips, and Whiskeys is one of my favorite weeded bottles. Yeah, I just, again, at cask strength, and maybe I'm turning into a little bit of a proof hound, but it needs to have that higher proof level for me to be like super interested in it. If it's the shelfer version, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's good enough. But I mean, Fred Minnick gave one of their single barrels just overwhelmingly positive remarks. Was that a couple of years ago? So I feel like the whiskey world has seen what they can do and what they're capable of, but I think now that it's trying to kind of catch that lightning in a bottle, if you would, and just replicate it, right? I know it's not often that easy, but if you can do that, I mean, you'll write your own ticket in the whiskey world. You'll have people setting up connections to have people muling bottles out. You won't be able to keep it on shelves. So there's that. The new honey one is a banger. Okay, so the new honey one, are you talking about the 70 proofer where it's got honey actually blended into it? Because I passed on that one because I saw it was only 35% and I thought it was more of like a whiskey flavored liqueur, but I could be completely wrong. Admittedly, I have not been keeping up on Journeyman Distillery. It's not something that's like super on my radar. Waiting for higher age and maybe some cool finishing. Okay, yeah, so the Beacon for $2.75, knowing what we know about the age of it, knowing what we know about maybe it's the last one of the Master's Keep and how limited of a release it is, and that we've kind of identified specifically how old the barrels in the blend are, I think $2.75 is actually a pretty decent price. And honestly, the Master's Keep releases, I mean, you guys would probably know better than I would, those are probably right around $250 retail, or at least over $200. So, I mean, if you got to pay an extra $30, $40 to get like a hyper allocated bottle, something that you might not see again for another couple decades. Okay, well, maybe that's a price you can live with. I don't know. You only live once. Go for it, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Garrison fan, the store picks of those are chocolate high proof flavor. Okay, so I enjoy Garrison Brothers. My issue with Garrison Brothers, there's a couple things here. So I've had the regular small batch bourbon, and I think it's really, really good. The problem is, for me, if I'm paying $85 for your small batch, and then I got to pay like $100 here in Michigan for your single barrel, and then any kind of special release other than that, the Honeydew, the Ladybird, you know, those are over $100 in most cases. And then, you know, forget trying to get like a Guadalajara or Guadalupe, or the Cowboy Bourbon. The Cowboy Bourbons are like, you know, crazy expensive for what they are, and they're super allocated, and it's like 4-year-old whiskey. And I know that Texas climate does a lot, but I think Garrison Brothers is just a little bit pricey. Would I be open to trying it? God, would I love to try it for sure. Would say yes to anything that I could get my hands on from Garrison. But in terms of paying their prices, I don't know how I would feel about that part of it. Would love to try a Cowboy Bourbon, but I don't know. Prices have to kind of come down to earth for me. You know, if I tried it and I was like, wow, that's amazing, and then had the opportunity and I had to pay $300 for a bottle, if I knew that it was really good, that'd be a little bit different. But people are very divisive on their whiskey, and Garrison Brothers is one that it's very polarizing, but people either love it or they hate it. And I don't want to spend $300+ on a bottle that I might fall on the wrong side of that line. You know what I mean? The Russell's 25 was phenomenal. So if Beacon is in the ballpark, I'm in. Have not tried the Russell's 25, but yeah, I mean, I would say if it's anywhere near that bottle, I've heard only incredible things about it. Okay, so 245. So 245. So for an extra $30, you're potentially getting a bottle worth of history. I mean, that a portion of that bottle was probably distilled when they were still at the old distillery, and that's when some of the truly, truly good turkey was being put out. Plus cool box. Yeah, the Cowboy Bourbon does have a cool box. It looks almost like the bottle's sitting in like a little glass-topped coffin. It's got, the padded pillow siding with like the satin lining and all that, and it's very fancy. It's reminiscent of like an Old West coffin, I think. I feel like I probably saw something like that, like Wyatt Earp or Tombstone or something like that, because I am a sucker for a good Western. So Cowboy Bourbon would be 110% in my wheelhouse. Still Austin, I think, is phenomenal. I love most of the spirits that are coming out of Texas right now. Andalusia is great single malts. I got a couple bottles of Swift single malt that are they're phenomenal, guys. If you're not drinking those Texas single malts, I think they're doing awesome things. Both of the bottles from Swift that I got are tip-top. Enjoy them immensely. Let's see. Oh, lost track of the comments here. Too pricey for what it is. I agree. Garrison Brothers is a little bit pricey. Wife gave me the green light. So, okay. Well, I mean, if you're not gonna get in trouble for it, I am kind of an outlier. I'm very blessed. My fiance is super, super cool. She does not care what I spend my money on, as long as, it's doesn't put us in a spot or anything like that, which I, would not do. But yeah, I'm very lucky in that respect. I'll send you some Garrison. I have quite a few. Thank you. Would very much look forward to that. Getting to try some Garrison Brothers stuff. Maybe another game on a live stream. I do have to get better about live streams, guys, because I like doing this. I like interacting with you guys. I mean, we got 17 whole people. We might almost hit 20 viewers at one time. That would be super cool. Let's see. I have a Cowboy and we'll get a sample to you. Let me know. Yes, Julian, hit me up on Instagram. And we'll exchange info. Happy to trade samples with you. Would love to get a sample of Cowboy Bourbon and just kind of see what it's about. Uncorked. I have a Garrison Balmorea. It's oaky. You know what? I don't shy away from the oak. An oaky flavor profile is cool with me. I am fine with that. But again, like even at like the discount liquor store, I guess, what you would call it, like the Balmorea is like $200. That's just a lot, man. $200 for something that's like 2 years old. I don't know. I mean, that's a hefty ROI, right? So the return on your investment there is huge. I'm hoping to get the new Cowboy about 30 minutes. Dude, if I was 30 minutes away from the Garrison Brothers distillery, I'd probably be broke. I would probably own every one of those releases, just knowing how I am and the collector personality that I have. I mean, just look at these behind me, dude. I mean, and I have tried like heck to get a hold of these bottles, and the blue labels are they're near impossible to get your hands on. They really are a tough one to land. Let's see. Just found the Dragon's Milk Toasted Single Barrel bottle last week. Very tasty. Excuse me. So, yeah, Dragon's Milk's putting out some cool stuff. And the toasted single barrels from last year were they were an elevation of what Dragon's Milk has been putting out. A lot of those special releases, I wanted to get a hold of one of the mead cask finishes, but I couldn't get out there. Couldn't do it. I know the box sets were really cool. The glass looks really awesome on those. Wanted to, just I couldn't find the time to get over there. Eric Platsky just picked up a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye from Total Wine that I'm loving. Well, first off, I haven't seen your name in here before, so welcome to the chat, Eric. Glad to have you here. Total Wine, some of their picks are actually really good. Some of them are bad, but some of them are really good. And Jack Daniel's single barrels, it's hard to go wrong with those. The bourbons or the Tennessee whiskeys, whatever you want to call them, those are some of my favorites. But these cask strength ryes or barrel proof ryes, single barrel picks that they're putting out, I mean, a lot of these are delicious. They're so, so good. lots of complexity, lots of depth to them. And you can sit there and I can take, like a half ounce or a 1 ounce pour, and I'll sit there and just dissect it for hours and just rolling it around in my mouth and trying to find the different flavors. Jack Daniel's knows how to put out a damn good whiskey. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Congrats on the engagement. Thank you. I missed some comments here, I think. Sage. Okay. My favorite Texas whiskeys, Devil Rivers Distilleries. Okay, so I have an opportunity to buy a Devil's River single barrel, and I haven't done it yet, but I feel like I need to. It's not that expensive. I should probably just pull the trigger, right? Let's see. Thoughts on the E.H. Taylor BTAC bottle? Me personally, I'm not a fan of them expanding the lineup on something that I already can't get with a sister bottle from another lineup that I also can't get. I've got like 3 bottles of E.H. Taylor small batch that I have bought at SRP over the years just because you cannot find them at SRP. And I have 1 bottle of the E.H. Taylor straight rye, which was, to be honest, kind of disappointing. Not bad, but a little disappointing. Wasn't a huge fan of it. So adding a now unobtainium release to that lineup that is something that I already couldn't obtain the baseline for, that does nothing for me. It's not a fan. And I am broke. That's why I have a few. Yes, I feel that, dude. But I also appreciate you. I tried Garrison's and wasn't a fan. Too much of a tobacco note for me, but I love me some Still Austin. Okay, so it's funny you should say that because I love tobacco notes on whiskey. I am a huge, huge, huge fan of the Buzzard's Roost cigar ryes, the ones that they discontinued. I guess the FDA stepped in and there was something with how they were making those cigar ryes that now, batch 3 was the last batch. I'm glad I have 2 or 3 bottles sitting over there so I can kind of try and savor it and stretch it out because that's bullshit. It is. I think that is damn good whiskey, and that is my favorite rye in this basement. That is something that I found on the internet years ago. I had to go travel out of state to get it because Buzzard's Roost only recently became available in Michigan. I got it. I loved it. I went and got the batch 3 because of how much I liked it, and now it's discontinued. And I just, slap a warning on it. That's fine. Okay, you're drinking something that was filtered or aged with tobacco leaves. Dude, I don't care. I don't. I just want I want that whiskey. I want that flavor profile. If they can find some way to replicate that, I will definitely be a buyer in the future. Let's see. Bourbon broke. The struggle is real. Well, yeah, especially this time of year. It is definitely allocation season. So a lot of those high-end bottles have kind of been making themselves known. And, you got to kind of balance that. I have a family. I'm sure a lot of you guys have families. So, Christmas spending is a thing. Bills are a thing. And then, okay, the end of the year, all these high-end expensive whiskeys are coming out. Where do I spend the money? Where do I not? Sometimes the whiskey budget's the one that has to take the hit. I have a Lost Lantern New Holland finished in Dragon's Milk Stout. It's great. Super peach ring. Yeah, I could see that. Dragon's Milk Stout is low-key really, really good. Really good. I've never gotten peach ring on it, but I mean, I guess with the whiskey, I could see that happening, that being a thing. And I've found some really weird stuff. I was doing a single barrel pick back in August with the Spirit Animal Society for this guy right here, and then also the Altruist here. But we were going through a bunch of the barrels at Valentine's Distilling, and Ruffino puts on an absolutely awesome experience for barrel picks. If you guys ever get the chance to do a Valentine's single barrel pick, even if you got to travel in from out of state, cannot recommend that enough. But there was a barrel there, and it's all the Blue Label stuff. It's all high-aged MGP. These are specifically, most of these are 36% ryes, but I got Cantaloupe on one of the 21% ryes. I have never before or since tasted Cantaloupe on a whiskey. And it was super weird for me. I thought oh man, am I having a stroke or something? But no, it was interesting. What all distilleries have you visited in Kentucky? So like half of them. Buffalo Trace I've been to Maker's Mark. We went to, was it Blade and Bow or Bullet or whichever one, what do they call that one now? Yeah, whoever does Blade and Bow and Bullet, we did that one. We went to the Michter's tasting room. We've been to Heaven Hill a couple of times. We did the tasting experience downtown. We went to Old Forester. We've been to Bardstown. We did New Riff twice now, I think. Old Pepper, which was really cool. There's a whole like distillery district built around the Old Pepper distillery. Very cool if you ever get the chance to go there. We did stop by, what is it? Preservation. We didn't do a tour, but we've been to Preservation. Whoever makes, God, what is it? Jephthah Creed. Is it the Jephthah Creed distilling? I don't know. We stopped by there. Again, did not take a tour, but we did get the passport stamp. Castle and Key. Yep, we were at Castle and Key. That was a cool one. The distillery grounds at Castle and Key are, in a word, amazing. Right? It's the distillery itself is built to look like a castle, but the distillery grounds are just beautiful. They have like a little keyhole pond that's in the center of the property that you can walk down into. And there's like a gazebo built around it. Because back, 100 years ago or whenever it was built, there were train tracks that would bring in people to the distillery. So that was really cool. Trying to think where else I have. Well, I'll just check the map real quick for you guys. Okay. So we did go to, it was the Bullet Distilling that we went to, Stitzel-Weller. We did go to Copper and Kings. Copper and Kings was an interesting one because it had a really, really cool distillery. It looked like it'd be a great place for like a party, live music. But in terms of the actual experience itself, it was very lackluster. I don't know. It was just for me, it was kind of a very cringy experience there. We got in, grabbed a bottle, got out, and that was, I don't know, it just felt very uncomfortable in there for me. But let's see. Thoughts on the Penelope Omega. So yeah, Eric, I have been hunting the Penelope Omega. I have been trying to get my hands on one. I had one opportunity to buy it and was not able to get a hold of it. It was a bottle release at Holiday Market, and the guy in front of me took the Penelope Omega. So I ended up settling for a 10-year Pingree Black Label instead. Which was funny because they dropped the announcement of that. Like literally, it had been up on Instagram for like a minute, and I work not far from there. It took me less than 10 minutes to get there. And by the time I was there, like they had like, I think one Van Winkle was gone. The old Fitz was gone. People knew, someone leaked the information, and that makes me really not want to support the Holiday Market drops anymore, just because the people who know the people there tend to always get there first and get like the best stuff at retail, and it's really irritating. I was pissed off that day. But I have not tried the Penelope Omega, even though I've heard it is really, really good. I do, however, have a 13-year-old bottle of it was a Penelope Estate single barrel bottle from Harper Liquorland that is just like chef's kiss. So good. Next level type stuff. I'm going to New Riff next week. Any bourbons that are only available in Kentucky, you would recommend? I'm trying to think. New Riff, the Silver Grove stuff at New Riff is really, really good. I would recommend that. Kentucky only. What is it? The TW Samuels or HMW Samuels, whatever. It comes in like a 175 plastic jug, and it's low key, really, really good. It's like $17 for a 175 in a plastic bottle, but it's very good. I would recommend that. HK Young, I know, has relatively small distribution. Look out for one of those. Larrikin is another. It's another good one. They're putting out some cool stuff. Their Rosewater bourbon, I've heard, is really cool, but their Cigar Lounge bourbon was like really nice. I really enjoyed that. Maury's Market in Madison Heights had 2 on the shelf yesterday. Yeah, I might go check that out. I worry about what the price is with some of these local liquor stores, though. I go to Amori's somewhat frequently. A lot of their stuff can be marked up, though, and it's a little concerning when I'm looking for something specific. But I'll go check it out. Guess who's back? Leo's back. Huh. Hi, Leo. If you want to come down and say hello, you are welcome to. Those drops are always suspect, always a line or stuff gone right when posted. You know what? Yeah, they say it's completely anonymous and, they don't tell anybody. They don't talk to anybody. I don't think that's the case. I think whoever runs the liquor department has, a handful of people, or he belongs to a whiskey club and word gets out ahead of time. I don't think it's random or secret by any means. I think that there's definitely people that know about it ahead of time. Come here. You want to come say hello?
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
We're on the live stream right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know if those are. You gotta go get in the shower.
Maybe. Go
get in the shower. Be good. I don't think those are completely done at random or secret or anything like that. I definitely think there's people that are leaking those dates out beforehand. New Riff just came out with a red turkey wheated that is supposed to be good. Yeah, if you can get a hold of any of the New Riff limited releases, I would kill to get down to New Riff sometime the next couple of weeks and get one of those, because every time they come out with a limited release, it ends up just being absolutely amazing. I got one of their sherry finished ones that a few years back that is just top notch, and I keep forgetting I have it and I don't go back to it. But when they dropped that 6-year malted rye 4 or 5 years ago, I thought I had just about won the lottery when I got a bottle of it. And I know it's everywhere now, but it is so good. JW Dant and JTS Brown are bottles you need to get in Kentucky. Yeah. So the JTS Brown bottled in bond. Don't get the regular JTS Brown. It is swill. You're not going to have a good time with it. It's just not any good. But the JTS Brown bottled in bond, pound for pound, is probably one of the best budget bottles you're going to be able to get. So I would definitely grab that. And the same thing with JW Dant. They're kind of sister bottles. They're very similar. So I would grab both of those. I'm trying to think what else I have around here that was Kentucky only that I can't get anywhere else. If you can get any of the unique Taconic stuff, I know that's probably sold down there. Stolen Wolf, they make some decent stuff. Old Dominic, if you don't have Old Dominic on the shelves where you're at, definitely look for Old Dominic. They got some cool stuff. I got the Larrikin Kentucky Bourbon Fest pick. Yeah, the KBF pick from Larrikin was next level. I've heard multiple influencers talk about how great that bottle was. Anything from Heritage Distilling, maybe look at grabbing that up. I know it's veteran founded and it's really, really good. But I would definitely look at that. Favorite pour lately. Ooh. Favorite pour. Well, I'll tell you what, it was not this. It was not this popcorn bourbon that I had. Favorite pour lately is probably, I don't even know if I have it back here. I'm going to say either the Hooten Young 16-year light whiskey, the Jack Carr edition they did. I've been going to that one a bit lately. Or I'm trying to see. There's a place in Plymouth, Michigan called Highline Spirits. And I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but they will do committee blending where they'll invite patrons to come on out and kind of blend it all together. And then they'll release single barrels. There was a triple rye that they did last year that is just really, really good. That one I'm definitely a fan of. What are you still doing here?
Nothing.
Goodbye. Kids. But other than that, the Sagamore 10 year. Sagamore 10 has been my jam. Been really on a good times kick. Carl, I don't know if you're in here, but he helped me source a bottle of that stuff, and it's top notch. Let's see. Stolen Wolf is amazing. Yeah, I like Stolen Wolf. They did send me a couple bottles for review. Their basic rye, and then they had a wine finish rye that was really cool. That was fun. Do you have any Buckner's bottles? I don't have any Buckner's. I hear that that's like buff turkey, and I did get to try like an old Zach, like a 16-year-old Zach of Buffalo turkey. That was really good. The other bottles they sent me, I'm pretty sure, are like 11-year-old Jim Beam, and was not a fan. So, yeah, but I have not had any Buckner's. No, I've heard the Buckner stuff is pretty good as long as it's the Buffalo turkey. Picked up a JTS Brown in Indiana, just over the Michigan border. Yeah, we got to drive a ways here in Michigan to get that stuff. Even in Ohio, it's incredibly difficult to find a JTS Brown bottled in bond. And the differences in available bottles between Ohio and Michigan, that gap is closing. A lot of the stuff that used to be exclusively available or only available to Ohio, it's starting to make its way up here. Rye 3 is starting to pop up on shelves. Middle West Spirits. Middle West Spirits has been blowing my mind. I need to get a hold. If anybody knows anybody at Middle West Spirits that can help me get a bottle of their Neapolitan cask finish, I need that I need that more than I need hair on my head, guys. And that's quite the statement. It sounds amazing. Have the sherry finished, haven't cracked yet. Have a single barrel store pick that tastes like smoked root beer. Are we talking about New Riff or GFC and bourbon? What brand are we talking about there? Passed up on the Buckner stuff because I don't think it's worth the high price. It might be. I don't know. A lot of the Buckner stuff is Buffalo turkey, but a lot of the Buckner stuff is also like sourced Heaven Hill, or maybe I've heard rumors that some of it could be sourced Barton. Not all of it is Buffalo turkey. So I think if it's like the 13 and the 15 year, that's the Buffalo turkey, but anything that's like 10 year and below, that might be Bardstown. I don't know for certain where that is or where that's coming from. If any of you guys are looking for a cool bottle, the Folds of Honor Flying Ace bottle, the 13-year-old, that is 13-year-old MGP. It is cask strength, but it's a pretty low cask strength. I would definitely recommend giving that a shot. Let's see, 835. I'm going to grab one more pour, and then we'll wind this down. I don't know. Somebody in the comments tell me, am I drinking a bourbon or a rye next? You guys pick what my next one's going to be. More than likely, Bardstown Bourbon Company. Yeah, I could see that. I really could. I mean, they're doing some cool stuff, but a malted rye. Okay, well, that's specific because I've got like 3 of those, but okay. Please hold. All right, this is another brand that I really want to try more of. This is Chattanooga Whiskey. So I love the transparency on these. The availability is non-existent here in Michigan. So this is 99 proof malted rye. I love that they put on the side of the bottle, it's malted rye, yellow corn, caramel malted rye, and chocolate malted rye. It tells you what kind of barrel, the fermentation period, the filtration, age, batch size. I mean, they tell you everything on the side of these. These Chattanooga Whiskey Company bottles are awesome. And I love like the natural cork stopper. That's just something that I find like super, super neat. New Riff Malted Rye. I already poured this one. Otherwise I would have grabbed the New Riff Malted Rye. HD. Cheers, everybody. Just amazed by the Flying Ace cask strength bottle. Is that Thomas Anderson? Was that the 13 year that was the cask strength? Or do they have a different one? Just picked up the Disco 13 last week. Can't wait to open it. Eric Platsky, which one? So the Disco 13, was that the one that was supposed to have the high-aged turkey, or was that the 12? Because I have the 12, and that one was pretty good. See, enjoying New Riff Malted Rye 6. Yeah, the Malted Rye 6-year is, I mean, it's hard to go wrong. This Malted Rye from Chattanooga, yeah, Thomas Anderson, you were absolutely correct. It's pretty good. You know, and it's just, easy sipping, and it's available. I think there's this one, the Bottled and Bond, and then something else that's actually here in Michigan. Mr. Zales, greetings from Vegas. Hey, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Guys, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. I'm trying really, really hard to grow the channel. Got some cool stuff planned. I thought this year we were going to have a little bit more going on. I had a couple of local distilleries I was supposed to be doing something with that ended up backing out on me. So hopefully going into next year, we'll have a couple more projects going on. I did try to get some cool stuff going. It's just, it's difficult. Getting to the point of having a barrel pick for the channel is the ultimate goal. I want my first barrel pick to be American Fifth out of Lansing. I would love for a couple of you guys to be there with me to help pick that barrel. Obviously if you're local, it makes it that much easier, but yeah, probably less than $40 for the malted rye. Yeah. It's relatively affordable. It's got a little bit of an earthy quality, but I dig it. I like it. But yeah, growing the channel, that is top priority. So yeah, make sure you smash that like button. And if you know other people that watch Whiskey Tube that aren't watching me, first I want you to ridicule them for being an unhinged loser, and then I want you to send them a link to my channel. So pursuit of selection, I am in for a barrel pick. Yeah, I mean, I would need probably 5 or 6 people to go with me to pick that out. But the channel's got to get to a point where we could figure out a way where the internet's very an interesting place for moving bottles, and I'd probably have to partner with a liquor store. I know the barrels are relatively affordable, so that's not the issue. It's just, okay, can I move 140 bottles or 130 bottles of a small batch bourbon? The price would be, relatively manageable. I don't want to do anything crazy. I think it would be like when I had talked to them and kind of worked out a price, just based on the cost of the barrel and everything, we'd be looking at like $50 a bottle for a single barrel pick, maybe 55. So reasonable by today's standards. I'd try to, I'm not looking to make money off of it. I just want to do a barrel pick, get one under our belts so we can kind of figure out how this whole process works. And that's, it's an eventuality. That's kind of what I'm working towards. I will definitely let you guys know when that barrel pick time comes. It's just, we're not there yet. It's, having, 14, 15, 20 people that want a bottle is cool, but then what do I do with the other 100? Like, yeah, sure, I don't mind sitting on a case or two of it because, it's my first barrel pick, and obviously it's going to be something that I really like, but I need to be able to move the majority of them. So that becomes the hard part. Mm-hmm. I think you can hype live streams after they've ended if you use an Android device. I do have an Android device. That's actually what we're streaming with right now. I don't know how to hype it, but I can try. I'll definitely keep you guys posted, though. How many bottles in your collection? I'm around 60-ish. So, okay, yeah. Eric Platsky, you and I are not super far apart. I'm around 1,260. What you guys cannot see back over here is there's a lot. That probably came off a little bit worse than I intended it to. There's probably 60 bottles like back here on the wall. What you can't see is all the stuff that's kind of like down here, all the stuff that's under the bar. I have a shelf of media bottles awaiting review over here. I have a shelf of sample bottles that need to be addressed. And then I just have walls covered in bottles. There is a room tour on the YouTube channel. So you guys go back in the channel, there is a tour of my collection and all that. And maybe I need to do an updated one because I haven't done it in a few months. Basement's kind of in, it's kind of a mess right now, but I'm working on it. But there's a lot down here. I am lucky enough that I get some distilleries to send me some bottles. So that's cool. Always happy to share. I need to get better about having, like whiskey nights or, bottle shares or whatever. If we can find some place to do that at, it'd be really cool. It's just not something I have a ton of time for right now between work and everything. But, yeah, it's a work in progress, $12.60, that's a lot. Yes, it is a lot. It is also, I've been to Kentucky multiple times, been to Ohio more times than I can count. Traveled to Pennsylvania recently. So anytime I travel, I try to, bring a bottle back because for me, there's a personal connection to that trip. One of our favorite places to go as a family is Frankenmuth, and they have a Grand Traverse tasting room or what do you call it, like an outpost there. So every time I go there, I feel like I need to grab a bottle. So a lot of these bottles have been gotten from like family vacations or trips out of town. I mean, heck, my first trip to Kentucky, I think I brought back 40 bottles because I just went wild with the purchasing. Because 5 years ago, you couldn't get a lot of this stuff. So, hey, I'm only two years into my whiskey. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to knock you. I apologize if it came off that way. I didn't mean for it to. It's not a sprint. It is most definitely a marathon, right? Whiskey it's a slow process. Collecting whiskey should also be a slow process. Most of my drinking these days is done on camera. Occasionally I'll have a pour, while we're sitting down in front of the TV, watching a show or something, relaxing. So, don't be in a rush to build your collection. If there's one piece of advice I could pass on to you guys, be specific and be methodical in how you build your collection. There's a handful of bottles down here that I regret buying altogether. It's probably $1,000 worth of bottles that, I probably could have done without. Do I regret buying them? But there's also a lot of bottles that I really love. I collect the Old Pepper single barrels. Those are really good. I love every one that I have. Old Scout, huge fan of Old Scout. Have a bunch of Old Scout single barrels. Have a ton of Penelope releases. They are my jam. When I first got into whiskey 8 years ago, I was a huge High West fan. Bought every High West store pick I could get my hands on. I have the Rendezvous Rye, every year's release from 2012 up until 2021. And I think the 2022 release is the straw that broke the camel's back, right? I just kind of fell out of love with it. It felt an awful lot like Constellation was kind of wringing my wallet for money, and I was done paying out on it. So that is what it is. Canadian Chris, yes, the Frankenmuth chicken dinners are top notch. We like going to the Frankenmuth Brewing Company though, because it's a lot of fun. The food is good, prices are reasonable. So, what's the oldest bottle you bought that you haven't finished? The one that's been hanging around the longest? That is a great question. I don't even know, man. There is probably, what bottle? I'm looking at one right now. I think that might be it. It might be the Knob Creek 9-year that I bought into like 2017 that I just haven't touched. I mean, it hasn't, if it's not, nope. Okay. I have a bottle of Macallan 12-year-old. So I have a bottle of Macallan 12 that I bought myself as a present when I got my financial licenses in 2015. And I've had a couple of pours from it. So my brother and I had a pour from it when I passed my licensing. We had another pour from it when he got married. And we will likely go to that bottle again on the day of like my bachelor party. But that's probably the oldest one that I haven't killed in terms of like since I bought it. Gonna need a bigger boat. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to kill bottles now a little bit faster than I'm buying them. I'm trying to focus on the bottles that have like a little bit left so they don't get like all skunkified and stuff, because I don't want like a bunch of bottles of like ruined whiskey. So I'm working on it. Yeah, drink them, don't save them. I mean, yeah, there's something to be said for that. If it's a really special bottle, I would say save it, or not save it, but kind of nurture it a little bit, Taste is subjective. Yes, truer words have not been spoken. Taste is incredibly subjective. Nobody can tell you what you like. Nobody can tell you what you taste. So if somebody tells you that they get, one thing, and then you come through and you're like, hey man, I get blueberry pancakes out of that. And they're like, no, dude, that's not in there. Those people are called assholes, and you should not listen to them. Only you can decide what you taste on something. If you get blueberry pancakes out of a bottle and you dig it, regardless of what it is, go buy more. Who cares? It is a very individual, very personal experience tasting a bottle of whiskey. I have a few duds on the shelf, but you just never know. Got drawn into a fancy bottle or three that were absolute swill. Dude, that's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna fall into the hype. I got taken by a Total Wine salesman. He saw me coming. You know, it is what it is. I don't regret buying the bottle. But it's definitely a cautionary tale that I try to share with a lot of my viewers. Like, hey, beware the high price tag, beware the fancy bottles. There's a reason why. If that whiskey was that good, they would not need a fancy bottle or a fancy gimmick to sell it. I'm just saying, the whiskey would sell itself. Word of mouth does crazy things for whiskey. Nose on Macallan 12 is nice. The palate, not so. I know it's overpriced. What are you going to do? What's your oldest age stated bottle? JP Weiser's 24-year-old cask strength Canadian whiskey. Yeah, that is far and away the oldest age stated bottle. And you know, it's not bad. A lot of people knock the Canadian whiskeys. I bet you if I gave you a pour of a 24-year-old Weiser's at cask strength, you guys would probably love it. It's just, you know, everybody had Canadian Club or something like that when we were younger, like a Seagram's or something, where it hurt us, and we have relegated it to the trash pile, and we won't go back, you know? Yeah, buy what you like. 100% buy what you like, guys. What everybody else likes, hey, that's secondary. If a bunch of guys on the internet are going to get all tight in the pants because you bought a cool bottle and that's what matters to you, I mean, cool, but also who really cares, right? But that said, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. So we're going to wrap this up. Guys, I appreciate you being here. Looks like there's 13 of us. We've had an incredibly active chat. Just picked up the 18-year Canadian Club, and I'm anxious to try it. Dude, I have the 18-year Canadian Club. I have the second release. Not great. Not great. I only paid $40 for it, so I'm not that mad, but it's not wonderful. Total Wine sleeper bottle, Old Emmer cask strength wheated. Okay, that I'll give you. The Total Wine. So a lot of the Total Wine brands are bogus, but that one is actually pretty good. Pursuit of Selection, man. You know, try it. Message me on Instagram. Let me know what you think about it. If you like it, hey, more power to you, dude. They're plentiful. They're all over the place. Yeah, Seagram's and a lot of stuff from the 70s is really good. I'm just saying, you know. Taste also changes day to day. Sometimes it just hits different. Yes, you know, your palate can change frequently. You're down at nostril changes like every hour or something like that. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You guys all helped get me to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you. Probably gonna be doing a giveaway. I know Advent is gonna be starting in December, so the video reviews will be stopping for a little while, but we'll be moving into the Advent. But keep an eye on the channel. I want to do a giveaway. I want to give something back to you guys, so keep an eye on that. It'll probably be something where, you know, you gotta like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, but I want to give something back, so just keep your eyes open for that, and I'll see you next time. Whiskey Shamaan, thank you, sir, for the samples. Thank you for being the sponsor, right, of this live stream. I appreciate you. You'll have to let me know once you get those samples, and once you get into them, let me know what you think. But until next time, guys, we're going to try and do this again. But everybody have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.